Official hip hop heads lighting setup.
Stand up here and do this.
Lighting crew.
Come on! Oh stop filming! There you go. Leave it. Yes. Okay, now do it to the other one. Do it to the other one. Tap into booty.
What up guys, it's HipHop Heads here. I know this video is overdue. A lot of scheduling problems. Nick was supposed to be in the video like I said in the last video, but unfortunately his mom shit on him, so he can't be in the video. But I still managed to got two of my other friends. I'll let you guys introduce yourselves.
Yo, I'm Sebastian. I'm Ethan.
Alright, and so they're gonna help me do this video. Basically, they're just gonna be the ones asking me questions. If you guys haven't figured out by now by the title, this is my top 10 hip-hop albums of the year. This is usually the video that everyone checks out. Everyone wants to see their top 10 list and all that shit. Obviously, I have to put the disclaimer because everyone's gonna get pissed off. Hip-hop has to be one of the few audiences that gets mad when you have some sort of opinion that disagrees with them. So you have to put this fucking disclaimer. This is my list, not yours. Mine. So don't get mad if I don't have one of your albums in here. No, trust me, they really get mad if you don't include an album.
They shoot Justin Bieber fan base.
They really get mad if you don't mention or include it. So again, this is my album list. You guys can agree with it or not. If you guys, I don't know how many people are gonna watch this, but you guys can put your own list, your own opinions. Just don't get mad if I don't include one of your albums. With that being said, yeah, I guess we'll just start off this video. I first of all want to start off with albums that I didn't get to listen to. It's just because, you know, I recently started doing this, so I really have had to pay attention to the albums that came out. But previously, throughout like the beginning of the year, the first half of the year, I wasn't really hip onto what albums came out, so I had to go back a lot on the albums that came out earlier this year.
Top 10 together.
I put this top 10 together in about 3 days. Like I listened to, I had to obviously listen to a bunch of albums that I didn't listen to in the past month. But I made sure that I listened to all the albums before I made this list. So like collectively it probably took me about 2 weeks. But to actually like write down the list, it took me about like a day or two. But this was definitely like, I really went back and took my time.
So a lot of thought was put in.
No, like I definitely, I made sure that I didn't miss out on a lot of albums. Because again, like I said, at the beginning of the year, I missed out on a whole shitload of albums. So I wanted to make sure I listened to the good ones. So I went back and I listened to it. But yeah, definitely a lot of time I spent, basically my whole break doing this list, listening to music. Yeah, like pretty much the whole
school.
Sounds like fun. No, the whole break pretty much I was spending my time listening to albums and making sure that I got my list down. So the albums that I didn't get time to check out, and this is why they're not going to be in my top 10. Open Mike Eagles Dark Comedy, Cause and Effects, Cause and Effect, Static Select is What Goes Around, Onyx, their Wake the Fuck Up, YG's My Crazy Life, Black Milk's If There's a Hell Below, Cunning Linguists, It's Strange Journey Volume 3, Apollo Brown and Razkaz's Blasphemy, and some of the Slaughterhouse projects that came out. I know Joe Budden came out with Some Love Lost, and Crooked Eye came out with
Sex, Money, and Hip Hop.
Yeah, exactly, Sex, Money, and Hip Hop. So I didn't get a chance to, and I'm pretty sure they put out an EP, Slaughterhouse. So I know I didn't get a chance to check mentions. Either. These are albums that I thought were good, at least for mentioning, but they just didn't make my list. Maybe if I made like a top 25, this was really hard for me to put these on to 10. There was a lot of albums that came out, but if this was probably in the top 25, I'd add these in. Commons, Nobody's Smiling. You checked that album out. Did you like that one? Yeah. The Commons, Nobody's Smiling.
It wasn't top 10.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, I saw some people added in there, but I was like, I don't think so. I did like maybe.
Some.
Yeah, exactly. Like it was a decent album. I didn't think it was like top 10 worthy though. MOP is Street Certified. It was good, but it just felt like the same, you know, like their same type of music again. Like it was a good album, but for the albums that came out this year, I didn't think it was necessary or worthy to go in. Army of the Pharaohs and Death Were Born. that came out earlier this year. Again, they didn't really do anything different than what they usually do. They just rapped their ass off on some hard ass beats. And it was good again, but it was just, they didn't change the formula at all. Ghostface's 36 Seasons. I did want to include this one, but again, it was because of the 12 Reasons to Die album that came out. That just, like, when I found out that that already came out, it just kind of threw me off a little bit. It doesn't take away from the album, that it's still dope, but it's just, the idea wasn't as innovative as I thought it was at first. Wu-Tang's A Better Tomorrow.
Why didn't it make your list?
It just, again, like, did you see my review on it? It wasn't what I was expecting.
It was still a good album.
Like, it was good. Like, I did like a lot of the songs. Like,
from a person that's just going to Wu-Tang over.
I actually
no, if someone just got into Wu-Tang, like you just
yeah,
got
me.
Wu-Tang, right? So I would understand if you put it in there. Just for me, I listened to all their other albums. I just couldn't compare it to what I know they can do.
Okay, but I'm saying like, just people that
No,
just
I'm
going to that Wu-Tang thing.
No,
it's still better than any. Well,
a lot of the albums that came out, no, for sure.
Wu-Tang.
It was still a dope album. It's just, for me, again, a Wu-Tang fan.
First album I listened to was 36
Chambers, right? So,
before, well after.
well, that's a huge
and then,
change
so
right
I'm
there.
like,
No,
that's why I think.
Yeah, if you see the progression from the 36 Chambers, Better Tomorrow, Iron Flag, the W, then you'll see that they definitely, it was progressing, and their first like 3 or 4 albums were really good, but then once they dropped 8 Diagrams, it was like no. So I couldn't, but it was a good album. Again, I already give you guys my opinion on that. Clipping, their self-titled album. Again, like it was different than what I listened to, because I don't really listen to experimental hip hop, but I actually enjoyed it. It was actually a pretty good listen. I didn't think I was gonna enjoy it. It was like a pleasant surprise that I actually enjoyed. The MC, I can't remember what his name is, but he really surprised me. I actually did like that album, but it wasn't enough for me to put in my top 10, because again, it's just, I'm not really into that sort of sound that much. J. Cole's 2014 Forest Hills Drive. That's gonna piss off a lot of people. I already know. They're already typing now, I'm sure. I understand if this wasn't someone's top 10. It just, again, you guys, if you saw my review on it, it just didn't really impress me that much. It was definitely his best album so far. I do like his mixtapes a little bit better, but it was like, he was really good for J. Cole standards. It's just for me, I think a lot of the hype just killed it for me, but it was a decent album. I see why a lot of people did like it. It was really relatable, but just for me, I didn't really like it that much to put it in my top 10, but it was good enough for me to mention it. Nova and Beezy's Tangents and Distractions. I know probably a couple people have heard this shit. I know no one has this on their top 10, but I just thought it was actually a really good album. The way that it came out, I wasn't expecting that from Beezy. Shout out to him. It was actually really good. The albums that almost made it, like this is probably, if I made a top 15, they would have made it, but it's just like this, they missed it by slim chance, and I'll explain why they missed it. The first one was Ritz's Next to Nothing. This one, he really outdid himself on this one. It was his best project that he put out so far. I really did like that shit. Again, it was really good. I didn't like a lot of the songs on there, but it didn't make my top 10, because I thought there was better albums. But this definitely, I was considering putting it in there. Blueprints, Respect the Architect. Shout outs to Beezy again for putting me on this. I've never heard of Blueprint before that, but I listened to this shit. I love the sound that he does, though. Jazz and sampling, hip hop. That's one of my more personal favorite sounds. So I really did like that album, top to bottom. I could listen to that thing without skipping it. Again, it's just, I think I just listened to it too recently for it to really sit with me and put it in my top 10. But I was considering put that in there. The Roots is And Then You Shoot Your Cousin. This one, you said you were gonna put it on your top 10, didn't you?
No, that wasn't me.
Did you? But you said that
I said it was a pretty good album.
It was a pretty.
The best.
I was thinking of putting it in there, because it wasn't even like it was like hip hop, but like not even that
R&B song.
Like exactly, right? But
I got track right there.
But it
What's
was
called and
I know they
Tomorrow.
had like they had a lot of songs in between that were not even like that, like rapping. Like there was a lot of songs they weren't even rapping on.
It was like R&B.
But they put me in a complete mood. Like it was really dark, didn't you notice?
Yeah, it was deep.
Yeah, like it was really, exactly. That's the thing with the Roots, so you have to be in a certain mindset to like want to listen to the Roots. And I liked that shit a lot, but it was just, I really did want to put this in my top 10, but again, it didn't blow me away that much.
It came out too early from after year.
Well, no, this came out early. Oh yeah, I get what you mean. So really,
Yeah.
for me it
There's
was
more better albums.
yeah. I think it was for me. It just there wasn't that many songs that I really gravitated to that much. Like the whole album, the album itself is really, it was good. It just there wasn't. I guess that much replay value for me. Like I listened to it.
It's deep. Like,
Exactly.
It's rap. That's how rap's supposed to be. And replay.
But for me, it just I couldn't go back to it that much.
Yeah.
That I was like, oh okay, because you have to really put yourself in a mindset to listen to that. Diamond District's March on Washington. This is the first time I've heard of these dudes again. I really did like this album. What's the producer's? I know I'm gonna fuck this. I can't remember what the producer's name on there. But the producer for March on Washington, he blew me away. That was my favorite thing about the album. Like that dude's drums, just they hit so hard. I really wanted to put this on my top 10. I was considering taking out an album for this. Quest's Searching Sylvan. This I listened to this too late for me to put this in my top 10. But if I listened to this maybe a month ago, maybe 2 months ago, this would have been in my top 10 list. This is like the little brother to Good Kid, Mad City. Shout outs to Big Quinn for really saying that, because that really, like that resonated with me. At first I didn't like it because I thought he was trying to copy Good Kid, Mad City too much, and I hate, something rubs me wrong when artists try and copy other artists, like especially when it's something that recent that came out. I don't know, something about it. That's why I had a complaint on Logic's Under Pressure, where just some of the things reminded me too much of Good Kid, Mad City, and I was like, I don't
It's still a good album.
No, I know that. It's like, it's not a bad
There's
thing.
2 albums there. It's like a story right there.
Exactly, like it's not a bad thing, because that's a really good album. Good Kid, Mad City is amazing, right? So for you to get compared to that is nothing wrong with that. It's just, I don't want to say this because I know it's gonna get some people mad, but it just seems like a little bit of lack of creativity. Do you know what I mean? That it just seems like you're gonna, like, it's not like Kendrick Lamar was the first one to tell this story or anything like that. It just, he, I guess, was the one who did it the best recently. And it seems like a lot of artists have been wanting to do that ever since telling their life story.
No one can make it as good as
Exactly,
it's
right?
second best.
Exactly, like you can't do it as good as the original. And since it's so fresh in our mind, that's the first thing that I could connect it to, right? Because if someone were to do an idea like maybe bad that was taken from like the 90s, no one really remembers it, right? But this came out in like the late 2012, so everyone remembers that shit. So the first thing when I listened to it, I was like, this sounds like Good Kid, Mad City. And at first it was a bad thing, but once I listened to it more, it didn't come off as him trying to copy Good Kid, Mad City. It was really more him really trying to tell a story. And I like the sound, because the sound in his voice and the way he raps and all that was different. The production was...
It didn't make your top 10?
No, I listened to it too late. Like I literally listened to that album like maybe 2 weeks ago, 1 week ago. I didn't have enough time to really sit with it.
What grabbed your attention about Good Kid, Mad City though?
Good Kid, Mad City, so that's why that's the first thing that I think about when artists do concept albums about them telling their story, because that's like, it's just so fresh in my mind, and that was the best thing that came out in a while. Once I went back to it a lot more, I appreciate it for what it is, because it didn't really come across as trying to take from Good Kid, Mad City like Under Pressure did, even though that did make my top 10, I will say that. Mick Jenkins, The Waters, again, if I listened to this earlier, I would have put this on my top 10, but I listened to this maybe 4 days ago, which sucks. This album was so good. This shit was so like chill. And I know you like that type of music. Listen to this guy. You'll like him. He was like, I really did like this album. I had a hard time not including this. He told it like he basically did an analogy with water. It was just really cool how he did it, and so I really like. That shouldn't have been a mixtape. That should have been a fucking album that I had to pay $10 for. That was really good, but I had a hard time not putting that in there. But again, it's just because I listened to it so recent enough for me to really put it in there, because I don't think I'd be doing it justice. Or I didn't want to be caught up in all the hype. Now that I got those out of the way, so I can at least please, some of the fans that are gonna ask me, why wasn't this on here, why wasn't this on there? You guys can still ask if why I didn't have a certain album there. Don't just be like, oh, you're whack, why didn't you have this on there? I mean, be respectful, be like, oh, why didn't you have this on there? No, I'll answer motherfuckers who do that. Not the ones that are like, you're whack, because I don't have time for that. But if you have a question of why I didn't mention an album, then go ahead and ask me. I want Sebastian to do his list first. Let me just make this clear though. He didn't really have a lot of time to put this album together. He knows his stuff, but he just didn't have as much time to put it in a top 10. So this is really just the albums that he really did like throughout the year. So this is his list.
It's my top 5 albums, not in order. First is K.R.I.T, Sex, Money, and Hip Hop.
Wait, like, okay, no, you said not in order, right?
Yeah,
okay,
no,
okay.
Not in order. Second, Run the Jewels 2.
Yeah.
Shady XV. Just the first disc was amazing.
Yeah. Wait, you really thought the Shady XV was that good?
Yeah.
I saw some people add it in there, but
Yeah, because of
about that one.
just because of the first disc, you know. Like,
no,
I had good tracks.
Yeah,
in
that's
it.
what I'm saying. Like the new ones, the new tracks.
Yeah, and Wu-Tang, Bury Tomorrow,
Yeah.
J. Cole, and Wu-Tang.
J. Cole?
Oh no,
Did you
this
really
is
like
his
that
first album I got into. First album.
You didn't listen to Born Center?
Not all of it.
Have you?
I listened to it after.
And did you like some of them?
Yeah. But
No, I.
this is my first album.
Yeah. No,
I've listened to.
Yeah, I think you're gonna like it.
And just his lyrics, people can relate to it.
Exactly,
and
that's his biggest selling point. Did you have Logic in there? Under Pressure?
If I had to make my top 6, yeah. I mean, like, I didn't have time to do it, but
What would you
that
put
was,
that in?
yeah, first top. That would be my
Okay,
first one.
okay. Because I know you really
Yeah.
like that album.
Yeah, it was a really good album.
Okay.
Start to finish, I replayed it.
Exactly.
Until Run the Jewels 2 came out.
Yeah, I'm gonna get into that once I do my top 10. This is my top 10 list. Number 10, Schoolboy Q's Oxymoron. This was on the fence of being on my list. Because I was like, oh, this is probably gonna make my list. And then I listened to more albums. I was like, this probably is not gonna make my list. Went back, because at the time I only had half of the album. And the songs I really did like, I didn't like the whole album that much. And plus my brother played the shit out of that album. So I really got tired of it after a while. Once I got to listening to it by myself completely, I liked a lot more tracks that I did and the first time I listened to it. When I went back and listened to it, I really, really liked this thing back. Like when I went back and listened to it, this shit bumped so hard. If I had my own car, I'd just go in there to listen to this. Because it just bumps so
It's a good album, you just get your mind of everything.
Exactly.
You don't even have to pay attention to the lyrics. Just
Exactly.
turn on your radio
Good
and...
album if you want a good bass massage.
Oh my god, yes! It bumps
Run down the street,
so
the man
hard.
knocks-
I didn't like the whole album again. There was maybe like 3 songs that I could do without on that album. But the songs that I like, I just have those on replay so much. That shit bumped. So it's just Schoolboy's delivery and the production that he did over it. Oh my god, it was perfect. I really like that shit. That I went back in the studio, I was like, yeah, this has to make my top 10. Number 9 is Logic Under Pressure. I know you were gonna say that shit. It's low. It's low on there. I find myself going back on this album a lot. So you would think that I would put it higher. It just, again, a lot of the songs I really, really do like and I go back and listen to. It's just, it didn't blow me away. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, it blew me.
Word, that's how you feel up on this track?
If you listen to his other mixtapes.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You
But like
have-
an actual album, it's like...
No, the album was good. I thought it was his best.
The story he has behind it.
Exactly. No, it was good. It just, if the audience knows them, you'll see why. It just, the other albums, there were too many other albums that just outdid this one. But this one was
Like when it first came out, it was the best, probably the best one.
No, it was really good. I wouldn't say it was the best one like when it came out because there was other ones that I had to go back and listen to. And I was like, yeah, this is better. I don't know, man. Like again, I said that it took elements from Good Kid, Mad City that kind of just rubbed me the wrong way again. I didn't really like that. I felt like it was kind of a bad thing. But again, it was still dope and Logic has his own sound. It was a good album. I really did enjoy that album. It just, when I listened to other albums, it just didn't really compare that much. It didn't interest me as much as the other albums did. My number 8 is Isaiah Rashad's Sylvia Demo. really chill album. And he's like part of the TDE crew with like Absol, Schoolboy Q, Kendrick Lamar. And I hadn't heard him before. I was put onto him by my gym teacher, Mr. Collier.
I haven't heard that.
Mr. Collier told
The gym teacher told you about.
yeah, Mr. Collier tells us
They
all
told us about Moment
Big
of Truth
Crit.
by
He
Gangstar.
told us about
He
Gangstar.
listens to rap?
Yeah, man.
Wu-Tang. Yeah. Mr. Collier is serious about his
You got me into
hip-hop.
Gangstar.
Yeah.
How do you know that?
Who else is a Gangstar?
Yeah, no, he introduced him, Isaiah Rashad, to my brother. And my brother told him like, oh, you should check him out. And so I did listen to the album and I really did like this album. At first I was like, there was only a couple tracks that I was feeling, but when you listen to this thing as a whole, it was really cool how he did it. I love the sound that he made. This is one of those albums that you just vibe out to and just completely zone out. I really did like this album. And I thought it was just a little bit better than Under Pressure, Logic's Under Pressure, because I was first gonna put Under Pressure as number 8. But I don't know, I just found this one a little more interesting because I heard Logic before the album, so I was really expecting something big.
Yeah.
And I wasn't disappointed, but I was just saying like I hadn't heard Isaiah Rashad before, so I was like more shocked than when I heard Under Pressure. So that's why that one got my number 8 spot. I really like that album. The production is really smooth, but he raps like really aggressive. So like it like contradicts, but it works together really well.
I agree.
My favorite track on that one's like a Heavenly Father. Number 7 was Blue, Glad to Be Home. This again, another guy that I'd never heard before. I know you haven't. No one's ever heard of him in this room. I never heard of this guy before, but I saw again one of the Dead and Hip Hop guys put it in their top 5 of the mid-year, and I was like, okay, I guess I never heard of this. And so I went back and I checked it. I love this album. I wanted to put this one higher. My first impression was like amazing. It just is really lo-fi sounding. Like it's not like crisp, clean production. It really sounds like he made it with the shittiest equipment, everything that he could have. Like he literally used tapes. Or I don't know what he used, but it just sounds like really low budget. I know that's like a certain sound, and I thought it worked really well with the production. I love the samples he did on that one. Again, I'm really into like the jazzy or hip hop. So when I listened to that and the samples that he brought, I was just like, oh my god. The production was by Bombay or something like that. His production was amazing. He made that album, but again, Blue's also a spitter. All the features really worked well on that album. I really did like that album. It was kind of long. It was 2 discs. I did like the second disc a little bit better than the first one, but again, it was just, I love the samples that he did on that album. The samples were amazing, man. Just the whole sound of the album. I went back and listened to Blue's other stuff, so I'm definitely a fan of this guy now. Number 6 for me was Sci-Hi the Prince, Black History Project. Again, if you guys follow me on Twitter, you saw that I posted a video of one of his songs off the album. Like at the beginning of this, like I guess this whole YouTube thing, I thought I was gonna put a lot of the artists that I already knew on this list, but I ended up finding a whole lot of artists that I never heard of before, but I'm really happy that I heard them now.
What's your favorite track on that album?
Give me a sec. Let me tell them why I like it.
Blame me.
I love this shit. The guy's a lyricist, like a real lyricist. His pun game's insane. Like it's really crazy, and I haven't heard someone flip words. He's like a wordsmith, and I haven't heard someone do something like that in a while. You really have to listen to this multiple times to get what he was saying. I can listen to this thing again, front to back. Oh my god, like he just spazzed out on a lot of these tracks. I really like Sci-Hi the Prince now. Kanye executive produced this. He should have made this an album again. This mixtape should have been an album easily. I would have paid my money because it was just, oh, it was so good. Yeah, but you asked my favorite.
Yeah, your track.
My track on that shit was Napoleon was one. Another one was Huey. Another one was Is It Me? Oh, and Barry White. I think the producers on that mixtape were really good on there. So I had just picked perfect production to rap over, and I love the concepts and the way he set up the album as far as actually if you were going to present the project to a class, that's how he did it. So I really like that album. Number 5 was